I was still holding the knife I'd used to cut my birthday cake when my father cleared his throat. This stiff, rehearsed sound that always meant bad news delivered with forced politeness. My mother wouldn't look at me. My sisters hovered in the doorway like they were waiting for a show. Then he said it. "We used 95% of your trust fund. Your sisters needed it for their weddings. We hope you understand." I remember the room going quiet in a way sound doesn't usually allow. I didn't yell, didn't blink, didn't even breathe wrong. I just placed the knife down gently, like I was afraid it might shatter if I moved too fast. They thought my silence meant obedience. But it was the moment the foundation beneath them began to crack. Growing up, they always said I was the reasonable one, the quiet kid, the dependable son who never asked for more. They mistook quiet for weakness. They mistook love for permission. I still remember being 8 years old, watching my father sign the trust papers at the bank. He ruffled my hair and said, "This is your head start, something no one can ever take from you." Funny how people carve their guilt into their promises without realizing it. The signs started years before the confession. A sudden closed door here. A wedding vendor's email left open on my mother's laptop. My father whispering with my oldest sister in the hallway about the budget still falling short. I wasn't supposed to hear, but I did, and I stored it quietly, like ammunition. Still, I told myself they'd never touch my future, that even if they were careless with themselves, they'd never be reckless with me. That illusion broke the night my mother accidentally called me my sister's name and said, "Don't forget the venue deposit is due this Friday." Her voice froze when she realized who she was talking to. My father shut off the lights early that night. I didn't sleep. I just stared at the ceiling and made myself a promise. If they crossed the line, I'd burn the map behind them. So when they delivered the truth like it was a light inconvenience, when they expected a nod, a smile, maybe a thank you for being such a good son, I knew the time had come. I didn't act hurt. I didn't storm off. I didn't confront them. I simply said, "I see." Because I did. I saw everything. They forgot one thing. The trust fund wasn't theirs to use, legally, financially, morally. It belonged to me the moment I turned 18. So I started quietly. I requested full financial statements from the bank, passwords they thought I didn't know, documents they forgot still existed. Every illegal transaction, every unauthorized withdrawal, every signature forged in the same looping handwriting my father used on grocery lists. I hired an attorney using the remaining 5%, the small scrap of respect they tossed my way. Turns out, 5% of a large trust fund is more than enough to load a bullet. My lawyer was cold, brilliant, and merciless. Exactly what I needed. The lawsuit hit them like a car crash they never saw coming. My father's business partners called him nonstop. My mother sat at the kitchen table every morning, clutching her coffee like it could rewind time. My sisters blamed each other, then blamed my parents, then blamed me. But I stayed quiet, still, unshakable. Once the court ordered the seizure of their accounts and assets pending investigation, the panic in the house became a living thing. Kicked doors, whisper fights, late-night phone calls. I wasn't angry anymore, just precise. The day of the final hearing, I walked past them in the courthouse hallway. My father looked smaller. My mother's eyes were swollen. My sisters didn't even pretend innocence. My father reached out, some desperate hope for forgiveness. "Son, we never meant—" I stepped back. "You meant every choice," I said. Not loud, not cruel, just true. The judge ruled in my favor. Full restitution, damages, future earnings from their business until the debt was cleared. In one afternoon, everything they built evaporated. And I didn't feel guilty, not for a second. Months later, I stood on the balcony of my new apartment, paid for with the money they tried to erase me with. Below, my father's old building had a for sale sign swinging in the wind. People ask if revenge feels good. They expect fire, rage, triumph. But mine felt like oxygen, clean, quiet, necessary. They taught me a long time ago that family means sacrifice. What they never expected was that I'd make them live by their own lesson. I didn't destroy them. They built the fire. I just handed them the match and walked away.